What's up, everybody? Welcome to Devonius' Domain Toy Review. So today, my Domaniacs, we're going to be taking a look here at a bunch of different Black Series figures. I'm going to be doing something kind of different today. It's not really an in-depth review like I usually do. I've got a huge backlog of figures just kind of stacking up that I've wanted to do reviews on and everything, and these are kind of hot right now. These have been coming in the new Walmart shippers, and everyone's been getting them. If you're on the Star Wars Black Series subreddit, you've been seeing a bunch of people getting those. If you're on, Star Wars Black Series Twitter, you've been seeing that too. A lot of people have been getting these in hand, so I kind of wanted to talk about these. Pretty cool new releases. These were pipelined a while ago, and they've finally come out, and this is really awesome. I canceled my pre-orders for these guys off of Hasbro Pulse because I got them all in hand. No shipping and taxes on these guys from Hasbro, so that's really awesome. And yeah, so I'm just gonna give the rundown, the packages, what I usually do, and then show some poses and kind of my thoughts on them. It's not gonna be in depth because I just feel like that would take forever. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this out. If y'all like this style, let me know down in the comments. I am gonna be doing another one of these, so if you don't like the style, damn, that sucks. But yeah, let's get into these guys. So, 16 and 17 right here, 43 and 44 from the Mandalorian, and then from the Ahsoka show. These are basically just, Clone Wars live action versions of these guys. So that's really cool. We're getting the Phase 1 Captain Rex for the first time in the Black Series, which is awesome. And the live action Ahsoka Anakin in his Clone Wars attire. They got Hayden Christensen back for that kind of like flashback or whatever it is, and that's really cool. That is a great likeness to Hayden Christensen. It's fantastic. And then we've got Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper Beskar armor that he had in the final episode of the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, and then the same here with the Imperial Praetorian Guard. That's really awesome. All these guys look really cool, and so I'm just going to give a quick rundown of all the packages here. Looks really cool. Pause that if you'd like to read it. Everything you get there with the figure. Great likeness, as I said. It's fantastic. It's way better than the original Clone Wars likeness that we got. It was almost like they were trying to make his likeness in the Clone Wars, but also mix it with live action. It was like they were trying to make a character that already was in live action. It was weird. So I really like that we got this. I'm looking at this. Fantastic. Mr. Gus Fring looking fantastic here. Again, pause if you'd like to read. Pretty awesome. Pretty great figure. Imperial Praetorian Guard. This is going to be a sweet-ass figure. This is awesome. Looks great. Here we go. Here their murals stacked up. Looking very, very cool. And it connects to Rex like it should be. The Imperial Praetorian Guard next to their leader, Moff Gideon, as it should be. Very, very cool. So, I think I'm going to take these guys out, have a little bit of a rundown of each figure, and show off some poses, show off what they can do, talk about the pros and cons, like a usual Devonius' Domain toy review. Just a little bit different. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's check these out. So kind of closing thoughts on all these figures. Starting with Moff Gideon. This is a great new sculpt. It seems like head to toe, it's all new. I really like the ball wrist joints on Moff. That's really, really awesome. That's something I kind of hope to see more of in the Black Series. I know they're still using a lot of old sculpts and stuff like that with forearms that don't really work with the ball joints. But for the newer figures that they are doing that with, that is very, very cool. The cape kind of flows over his shoulder in kind of like a bigger way. It doesn't really quite lay, but that's okay. That's just how soft goods work. And I honestly think I maybe like the soft goods more than if it was, a solid cape. But I don't know. Maybe a solid plastic cape would have worked better for this figure. But personally, I don't really mind the cape. I think the likeness to Moff Gideon's actor is probably the best that we've seen so far in the Black Series, or just in general from Hasbro, so I think that's really awesome. I like that they included the long electro staff and the short electro staff, like the handle is like a little blaster. I mean, this is a pretty cool figure. The only thing I kind of had a problem with, or that maybe I just was like, not really feeling, there's not really a whole lot of move there in the thigh. See, like, it's not a whole big range of motion. Also, the ankles are a little bit weak. Ankles, just ever so slightly weak. Not too terrible, not too bad. It's, like, kind of whatever. Just something I observed. And then, with the Black Series Anakin, the arms look a little bit long. The arms look a little bit longer. I don't mind that necessarily, but I do think that the Clone Wars Anakin that they released a while ago, the Walmart exclusive Black Series Clone Wars Anakin, was better in terms of everything other than the head scan. I think this head scan is fantastic. This is a fantastic young Clone Wars era Hayden Christensen likeness. I think Hasbro did a fantastic job on that likeness. It looks fucking great. I mean, Jesus, it's definitely the best Hayden Christensen likeness that they've done for the Black Series, like, ever. I mean, that Hasbro's done in general. I mean, this is fantastic. In terms of, like, everything else with the figure, I also noticed, like, a lot of people kind of had the belt riding up high. I kind of tried to lower it down. They've got the new chest armor, new shoulder pads. These are completely new from the original one. The original one were a little bit fatter on the shoulder pads. And this was glued down, the chest shield. And then there's obviously the cloth goods with the belt. And I think probably some reuse for the torso sculpt. But yeah, same old reuse with the legs and everything. I'm not a huge fan of those legs. I kind of wish they would shoot for some new legs. Because I do not like those Anakin legs. But this is a pretty cool figure. I definitely think I'm going to switch the head out, though, onto my animated Clone Wars Anakin body, because it's pretty much perfect. And I just, again, really like this sculpt. But this, in general, is a pretty cool figure. It honestly impressed me more than I was expecting it to, because I have the older one, and I was like, well, what can this do that one can't? It's got cloth goods. I think the sculpted tunic looks a lot better, but I do like this one. I think it's pretty cool. And then the Captain Rex. I have been wanting a Phase 1 Captain Rex in the Black Series for a long time. And they finally made one for Ahsoka. I was wholeheartedly expecting them to do that. They did the reissue for the Phase 2 clone Commander Captain Rex figure in the Black Series, and I was like, that's cool, but I want it on the new mold. I want the new Clone Trooper mold. I want a Phase 1 Captain Rex. I saw them do that, flashback thing in Ahsoka, and I was like, okay, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, and they took a long-ass time doing it, but they did do it, pipelined along with this Anakin, and, I gotta say, I don't know, initially I wasn't gonna get it, because I was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit let down. I was like, it's on the new clone mold, but it's the same problem I have with a lot of the Black Series Clone Troopers. There's no battle damage, there's no scuffs, there's no degradation, there's, no damage. They just look like shinies, and that just always bothers the shit out of me. I'm like, why? I get it, it's cheaper. They don't have to add, wash on it or paint scuffs or whatever, and it's like, I get it, but it's cheap. It's lazy, and Hasbro, please step your game up. That was, for me, for the longest time, next to the articulation, the biggest reason why I wasn't buying a whole lot of Black Series clones. I just think they could put more effort in. Because these guys are fighting in the Clone Wars. Their armor is going to be scuffed. Even if Phase 1, Captain Rex is going to be scuffed up. He's a captain. He's a leading guy in the 501st, leading with Anakin. He's going to be scuffed up. So I think that's pretty lazy. I do like this new helmet, though. I love the insignia here on the top. It's pretty awesome. I think I really like this pauldron. I think it looks great. I actually didn't mind too much the soft plastic apron here. I kind of thought it would get in the way of articulation, so that was another reason why. But honestly, it's not really too bad in the way of articulation. I mean, a little bit, yeah, it does hinder a little bit of movement, but you can stretch his legs into some decent poses. So kind of some more downsides to this figure, other than the no battle damage wash or scratches and scuffs, blaster marks. They didn't add the black lines here on his chest plate. Just kind of lazy. It's on most other clones. They didn't do that here. This hand goes up and down like this, you know. This hand does not. It goes back and forth. Think that's kind of lame. I think Hasbro should have made them kind of more matching. At least I gotta give them props on this, even though they shouldn't really have props for doing something so simple that fans can figure out to do. They did give him double trigger pointer fingers. Thank God, honestly. That would have bothered me to no fucking end. So that's cool. Taking off the helmet. This is a good Rex head sculpt. I think this is pretty much the same as the last one, with kind of more piss yellow hair. I think they were trying something maybe a little bit different here than the last one, which I don't know. Personally, I feel like they got it right the first time with the kind of more beach blonde Tamara Morrison likeness, but you know, it's not bad. So I like this figure. It's just I'm gonna definitely have to do a little bit of customization to it to get it to a place where I like it and I'm satisfied with it. And another thing that they really screwed the pooch on with this Rex, he only comes with his 2 blasters for the holsters. He doesn't come with a rifle. He doesn't come with his blaster rifle. I just think that's lazy. I just think that's honestly lazy as hell. You like, that's not even something that you have to make a new mold for. I don't know why Hasbro has this sick obsession with upping the price on these Black Series figures and not giving accessories where accessories are due. You don't even have to make a new sculpt. There's not even a new mold to be made here. You've got the blaster. You got the blaster rifle. Just put it in there. My first Captain Rex figure was the Hasbro Animated Clone Wars series Captain Rex. It's the first figure they ever came out with him. He came with his little blaster pistols, and he came with I believe a blaster rifle and a blaster. And a removable helmet. Why can't they do that with this figure? And may I add, it had some wash on it. That was a 3.75 figure over, oh my god, I don't even know, almost 20 years ago. Hasbro, get it together, dude. That's all I'm saying. I like this figure, and if you're happy with it, that's fantastic. I'm happy for you. I think there's a lot of people that are ecstatic about this figure and super happy. I'm happy too. I'm a big Clone Wars fan. I think Captain Rex is awesome. I love his design. Very cool. But this could have been way better, is all I'm saying. And again, if you're happy with it, that's great. But I just personally think they could have put in way more effort. And for people that are paying $24.99 or even more on the aftermarket for this guy, fans deserve the best. Fans deserve absolutely everything out of their figure. If you're not going to fix any of the other things I talked about, if you're not going to go the extra mile with any of the other things I mentioned, the least you could do is add the extra weapons that you already have molds for. That's all I'm going to say. Now, to move on to the Imperial Praetorian Guard. This is a pretty awesome figure. I really enjoyed messing with this dude. I think there's definitely some reuse going on here. I think maybe in the arms, maybe in the legs. The helmet is pretty cool because it's kind of just I don't know if you can see it up in there. It's kind of just a ball joint, and it goes quite a ways up. So you kind of just have all this range going on, which is really cool, and all the soft goods coming down here with the hard plastic belt, with this extra apron part coming down. Pretty awesome. The accessories are painted on the handles and other parts and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. Usually they'll just give us like a straight, soft, gray plastic look on the weapons, and I really appreciate how they kind of added some color to these. I think they totally could have lazed out and not done that, but they did, and I appreciate the shit out of that. I mean, look at this. This is pretty cool. And there's like some purple striped accents inside of the strobes. I just think that's really neat. So yeah, this is quite a cool figure. For anybody that wants to see kind of what's under here. There you go. Not much in the way of shielding and armor, like kind of underneath the Imperial Guard's outfit when you lift up the cloth. But yeah, pretty cool. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with all these figures. Anakin was a cool surprise. I'm a big Anakin guy, obviously. I mean, who isn't? You know, if you like Star Wars, you like Anakin, pretty much. Captain Rex is a fan favorite clone. The Praetorian Guard is badass, and an awesome conclusion, an awesome part to the conclusion of Mandalorian Season 3, as well as the Mandalorian armor, Moff Gideon. What a way to go out. I mean, just super badass. He's super imposing looking. And I gotta say, that T-visor, originally shown with Boba Fett, has given so much mileage to so many other great designs. I mean, seriously, look at this right here. Captain Rex came from the Boba Fett design, obviously. I mean, he came from the genetics of a Mandalorian, based off of Boba Fett. And then, you know, here with the T, but you know, look at over here at this T-visor. It's amazing how much mileage that Star Wars has gotten from characters with that T-visor that all kind of spawned from Boba Fett's design. It's very cool. And so yeah, that's all I really got to say. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing another kind of review haul of 4 other figures that I've got that I have not opened yet. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Devonius out.